Hey guys, welcome to Geek Church. This is Jared Elrod. As you can see, I'm here in front of a green screen, and this is kind of our new setup. We're getting some stuff together, getting some sets and stuff. If you noticed, the last episode I was in a different couch with a different background. It was a yellow wall instead of the regular Geek Church couch. And as you know, if you follow along, there's been some changes, and we've been on a break. And we're back. We're getting stuff together again. In fact, I'm getting a whole bunch of episodes lined up. So that way, even if we do get hit again in the future with something, we won't have to worry about a long break, because I'm just going to, after this week, and I can tell you more about it later, after this week I'm going to have just a ton of episodes recorded and just be a process of editing them and getting them out. So that's very exciting. So there should be some news about all that coming soon. But what I want to talk to you about right now is I want to introduce this episode. So the next couple episodes, I have 4 episodes ranging from 15 minutes to, I think one of them is actually close to an hour. So recently I got summoned as a witness in a case. So when I was up in Paradise, there was a crime committed and I was a witness, youth related. One of the kids who hated the youth ministry, never could get him to come to anything, but he broke into the youth house. And I was a witness, even though I didn't see anything, but I made the mistake of putting my name on the police report, so I had to drive all the way up to Orville, which is where the court is, because Paradise, I don't know, Paradise couldn't do it. So, but anyways, I made the most of the trip. I went up, I spent the night, I went the day before, spent the night with Jeff. I actually slept on the Geek Church couch, which really was just my couch, and I just left it there, so I slept on it before. Not because I was in trouble, just... Anyways, let's see, this is going downhill fast. Okay, but what I'm trying to say is the next few episodes are going to be a little bit random. There's no particular comic or movie we're talking about. It was literally just, I drove up 6 hours, got out of the car late at night, and we said, hey, we haven't done an episode in a while, let's just talk. And so for 2 hours, we just talked about randomness. And then I went through and I've cut that up into episodes. So this episode I believe is 17, almost 18 minutes long. By the last one, I believe it's in 50 minutes. So they kind of get longer and longer as it goes along, depending on what we talked about. So I hope you guys enjoy this. And these next few episodes, I should be releasing these probably weekly. So by the end of January, these should be done. And we'll be into our new content and some updates for you guys. We'll have some awesome stuff that we'll be talking about in January, so stick around.
We have our sandwich shop open Tuesdays and Fridays, and it's been open. We had the first lunch kids, which is freshman and sophomore, and then second lunch, which is juniors and seniors, and they would both come over, and we'd get 100 freshmen a day coming through, buying energy drinks, candy, soda, all that stuff.
That was just freshmen though. We had we're over 200
a day, counting the second lunch also.
It would be around a bad day would be in the 190s, and a good day would be 215, 210 for first lunch, and then second lunch we'd have bad day 15, good day 20, 25.
And so, but the staff of the school complained. They started filing complaints to the school board and to
the school board,
the faculty and everything, about the way the kids were behaving, because they were getting all sugared up and then going back to class and they couldn't sit still. So the principal comes over and says that New principal.
It's the third principal since I've been here.
I guess second probably since I've been here then.
Yeah,
because it was the lame one from last year and then the strict one from this year.
Well, when I got here, it was Mr. Reiner or something. I don't know. And he's the one I went and I met and I talked to, and then and then I was here through the school year, and the next school year he was gone. He was over at the elementary school, it was elementary, intermediate school here.
I don't know if kids just hate high school, or principals hate
it's
high
gotta
school
be hard
or something, because that's what seems to happen a lot.
Yeah, and so now and then I leave, and now you have a new one. Who apparently
he comes
possessed by the devil.
Or is the devil, one or the other. But and he said basically they decided that the first lunch kids can't come over here and anymore. They're not allowing to, and they're closing off the campus. And so, but of course they can't stop the second lunch kids from coming over, because that's an open campus. They come over, but that's 10 kids now, and they don't buy anything, so it doesn't matter. And so the first lunch kids can't come over, so the bottom falls out of it. Now we can't afford to to maintain this place pretty much anymore. And so here we are, empty refrigerator essentially. I've been starving myself ever since in protest.
I'm sure. So what do you guys, like, what's the plan? What are you doing with it? Like, how long ago did they stop letting kids come over? You texted me a few weeks ago.
I think it would have been right at the end of September that they came over. So the entire month of October we've been in the situation.
Well, the whole thing, I'm glad I'm gone. Because the whole thing pisses me off. No, man, I'm just going to say, man, I was like trying to gauge like how much I was going to get into it. I'm like, okay, downstairs I was kind of running my mouth. We're on camera now. Thing takes me off, right? Because here's the thing. What is the thing? What was I saying downstairs? Like, okay, I understand from the school's point of view in terms of, so I'm not like blaming them in terms of they're just intrinsically evil or whatever. Like,
the argument could be made, however.
well, okay, but the thing is, it's a world system, right? It's a bureaucracy. They could care less about our religious stuff. Their job is to, well, I can't even say really educate, because our school, you know, like their job is to keep scores high enough and keep fights that basically just to get by, you know, whatever.
It's basically, it's almost like a zoo. You just put all the kids there for a day.
And it's like damage control. But the thing is, like, so I understand, like, it's not real high on their priority to, like, help us out, right? That is understandable. But the thing that annoys me, because you said that then he came back, okay, so he closed it off, which is kind of annoying anyways. I know he's just got to flex his power or something to say, like, look, this thing that's been going on for however long and is, like, everyone loves, we're going to stop it. But you just said he came back and said, okay, well, we might open it up again, but rather than saying, because the thing is, okay, freshmen and sophomores, it's closed campus. Most schools are open or closed. This one's 50-50. So they have to stay on campus, they cannot leave. Juniors and seniors can go, whatever, they get in their car, they drive, and they go fornicate in parking lots for all the school cares, and then they come back. I mean, the school doesn't have a lot of control over them. And I'm sure some of them actually do that because you used to catch them doing it under the stairs after dances.
Yeah,
so.
There's a staircase outside the door over there, and oh my god.
Did you say that the first prom night that you were here? It was graduation, huh?
No, it was
homecoming?
Homecoming.
The first homecoming. He's here.
Underneath those staircases, over by the dumpster.
There's like four kids having sex, like four couples.
I don't know what it is about dumpsters around here, but just teenagers love to have sex nearby.
So I come in like the next day, because we had a football game, right? We did parking. And then I go home, because I'm tired and I'm annoyed by all the...
I think to shoot an episode, because it would have been Saturday the next day.
Okay, so he tells me, I'm like, what? It's like, really? I'm like, what? Like, what? I understand the guy, like, he still needs, like, to be beat up, but, like, you know, stupid high school guys will do it anywhere, anytime. They're not, you know. What girl goes, like, she goes, okay, after dance, like, let's go in the church parking lot next to the dumpster. Like, that's romance. This shows, like, he really cares about me, but whatever.
Yeah. I'm sure that, like, they always imagine them losing or giving away, actually, their virginity next to a metal cube of refuse.
Yeah, and AJ puts nasty stuff in there, so I don't even know. But anyways, what was I saying? Something about the school.
The closed campus.
Oh yeah, so he's like, oh okay, and you just told me this, and I don't even know if it's true, or not that it's true, but like, I don't know all the details, obviously, I'm not here anymore. But like, oh, well basically, like, instead of it being, we give them a pass to go over there and we'll look the other way, we'll like annex it in basically, but then you have to follow our dietary rules, which means like, so you can't serve energy drinks and you can't serve candy.
Yeah, because there's been a law passed across all of California, because everyone knows that California is anti-fun. You can't do anything fun here.
But we're pro-liberal, so we're super liberal, so you can't. I don't know.
They're anti-fun, but so that means that here in California, school or federally and state-funded school campuses and districts aren't allowed to have anything sugar-based, processed foods, which I'm not sure where the line is drawn on a processed food.
Like they have a bakery in the school. They bake fresh bread in the morning.
Yeah.
Hey, there were 20 cows when I got here to school today. After lunch, there only seems to be 18. What's going on?
It's like they have a slaughterhouse in the back, I guess now, or I don't know how they get around that, but they're not allowed to have anything with like sugar or fat calories over a certain level.
Sugar, 27 grams, wait, times 2, so that's quite a bit of sugar.
Yeah, this I believe has something like 38 grams.
Well, this is 27 per serving, but there's 2 servings. So I remember when I used to drink these all the time here, I was like, oh, calories, it's only 100. That's not bad, because like a soda is like 70 to 75, you know, or so it's not much more. And I was like, oh,
that's
2 servings.
That's a clever little marketing trick, isn't it?
2 servings. Or you're trying to tell me I should only drink half of this at one time? I drink 2 of these at a time. What are you talking about? Yeah. Anyways, but here's the thing though, we're not the school, or you're not the school. The church isn't the school. Like, so they go, oh, but then you can't serve. You don't go to the gas station and say, you can't serve this stuff to our kids. Like, you need to card them if they're a student. Like, and here's the thing, right?
Although I've heard that there's a federal, or not federal, but a state like proposition to have energy drinks labeled under the card program. And
I'm moving.
Having the drinking age for them raised from 13 to 18 or 21. I don't know if that's true or not, because I read it online, and you know, not everything online.
Well, but here's what's annoying though, and it's a two-pronged problem in my opinion. First off, and the first one I understand it's annoying, but it's like taxes. It's like you can complain about taxes, but you're never gonna fix it. It's like whatever. Like I'm gonna complain about them, but then I'm gonna go write my check and pay them. You know. The whole fact that they're like
debit it out of your paycheck before you even get it.
You're like, I'm going, like this whole thing of like, well, then we're going to impose on you, even though we wouldn't dare do that to any other regular business, because you're a church. We're gonna come in and we're gonna be like, hey, follow our rules. And first off, for the audacity to be like, what? Like, we're a business here. Like, you guys, and again, I worked here. I was here even before you, and there are people who started before me. Like, we have the Safe to Serve certified workers who we have a business license and stuff. We pay separate taxes because this is considered like a business. So it's an actual legit business. We have the exact same license as any of the other restaurants in town. And there are obviously certain restrictions on like what we can make. Like we can't prepare vegetables because we don't have it. We only have 20 sinks in there, not 30. But you know what I mean? Like we're not just like some church making something. Like we're an actual. It's been remodeled. Everything is.
I don't even have a stove, for crying out loud, because of all this crap.
Yeah, and there's not a stove in there. There's not a room because all the commercial stuff that has to be in there. So we're not just like in the church kitchen making sandwiches. This is an industrial, small but an industrial kitchen, and it's like twice the size of a taco truck basically. And we have the same license as a taco truck, but we're like 100 times cleaner. I'm saying we because I'm talking about like I'm talking from when I was here as experience. So for them to go like. And just think, oh, well, we can push them around because of the church, right? And then to, like, expect, like, oh, but we still want to use your parking lot. We still want you to do this stuff for us. We still want to rent your rooms for, like, literally practically free. They only pay a little tiny pittance just for lights and stuff. Like, we're not even really charging them. We still want all of those privileges of, like, you as a church serving us, but we don't want to let the 200 plus, so we're discussing probably 500 kids a week. And if we're rounding up, we're only doing it by 40, 50 kids. So we're like pretty accurate. It was like close to 500 kids was coming through here a week when I was here. And so we just want you to go and do everything we want. And like even, you said one teacher even had you come in the classroom and see the difference of like, okay, here's this class before lunch. Here's this class after lunch. And look at the difference. And I understand that. I understand them being more rowdy. But what I was saying earlier is like, it makes me mad because it's like it's all they want us to do all the taking or all the giving, right? So they're like, well, it makes it harder for us to teach. After lunch, they come back from having energy drinks, and they're harder to deal with. Okay, well, it's harder to preach to kids who have been 8 hours in school. So fine, let's cut a deal. We won't serve energy drinks anymore, so it's easier for you to teach. And on Wednesdays, you don't have school, so that way kids can come to youth and not be in school all day. Oh, what, that doesn't work? You don't like that? Okay, well, let us come in then during a period and preach and have youth during a period. Or you can't do that either? So you want us to shut all of our stuff down. You want us to drop all the stuff that we're doing to reach kids. Because they already freaking attacked us with the skate crap. We had like all the skating stuff, like, oh, well, we don't want them to skate because it's technically during school hours. I'm like, but the kids that go off campus go and skate in Kmart parking lot. What's the difference? Well, we're a church and they think they can boss us around. I mean, that's the first half. And again, I understand. I just don't think that it's our job. Like, I also understand why Hitler and Germany did what they did. In their point of view, it made sense, right? Like, they were a country who had hurt pride. They wanted to get, but that doesn't mean we were going to let them. Like, we understand why they're doing it.
Compared them to the Nazis.
Oh, okay, I'm not, I'm not literally saying they're like the Nazis. I'm just giving an extreme point because, like, some people I think are like, what's the big deal, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it is a big deal, right? Because we have 500 kids coming into the youth house being witnessed to, being prayed over, not literally there, but they're talking. Like, we had kids come up to us and be like, here's the things, like, I'm hurting myself, or I'm this, all these, like, deep things, right? Like, and then we'd be able to pray over them, we'd be able to witness to them, and then later we could talk to them on Facebook. Eventually they'd start coming to youth, and they're like, hey, we're going to shut that down. And so, like, you're proclaiming the gospel to really, kids way in, like, satanic territory, if we're being, like, battle lines here, like, way on the other side, right? So you're going into the darkness, you're shining light, you're witnessing, you're praying over kids, you're doing, like, missional work here. This isn't just, very, like, special ops, like, it takes us 6 months to get one breakthrough with, like, one kid, like, very, like, precise stuff here. We're going to make that hard and try to shut that down for you. But we're not going to give anything back. Like, we don't want them to skate. We don't want them to have sugar. We don't want them to this. Like, if it was legal, they'd freaking lobotomize the kids of the personality profile so they just come in and sit down and do their work. Like, if they could get away with it. Because it's easier. And I understand harder. Like, trust me, junior high kids and high school kids who drink the stuff, and then they come to youth, and you want them to sit there, you for however long, me for almost an hour, and listen to me preach the gospel and preach to them about how, like, this is what you're doing, this is what like, let me preach, like, this message, right? You're going to sit there, and you're bouncing up down, you have to pee because you had too many Cokes before. I understand it makes it harder, but that's when you become better at a teacher, right? Like, I don't understand. It's like, it frustrates me, as you can tell, and it's late, so I'm going to move on, but it's just, to me, it's frustrating. So that's the first part of the problem, and it's frustrating. And the second part of the problem is, so if the first part is them thinking they can push the church around, the second part of the problem is the church getting pushed around. And I'm not saying this church specifically. So, and I'm pretty sure that if it was legal, Pastor Jack would carry a pistol around and shoot kids who broke the rules on campus. Oh, he's jumping over the wall. Who is that? Oh, we told him, yeah. Boom! Like, I'm pretty sure, yeah, he's like, oh.
It's like, I love it when they do that.
Like, half the board would be like, oh, good shot! Oh, so, but anyways, so he's obviously not a pushover. So I'm not saying this church specifically, I'm just saying countless times, like, if the secular world thinks they can push the church around, the church lets itself get pushed around. It's frustrating. And we're going through a similar thing up at Oakhurst. I'm helping another church in town who's right, because I'm way on the other side of town from our high school. I'm not even by our high school with my new church. But there's a church that's right across the street from the high school. And they were serving breakfast, so it's the same kind of food kind of thing, except for instead of, and they were serving free breakfast.
Morning instead of afternoon.
Yeah, before school. And not to go into all the details, but basically the principal is trying to shut it down. We don't want you to, blah, blah, blah. Here's this excuse. Oh, wait, you just shot holes in that excuse. Well, here's another excuse. Oh, wait, you shot holes in that excuse and proved that I was lying. Oh, here's another excuse. You might as well just come out and say, we are anti-religion. Like, Christianity, because they teach like Muslim.
Yeah, because if it was a mosque.
Oh yeah, they would be. Yeah, if it was a mosque and they were like having Hindu prayers and stuff. Oh wait, mosque, Hindu. Did I just mix two things?
Yes, you did. But that's even more funny.
Yeah, that'd be awkward. But if they're like and they're doing stuff, there's stuff like the school wouldn't dare to say a word, right? But yeah, because Christianity,
they blew them up.
That wasn't nice. It was funny, and I thought of it, but I wasn't gonna say it because that's mean. Though the thing, the terrorists is such a tiny part. Like, did you see that infographic about like here's Muslims, like this huge, and there's the tiny little, and which is true, because I mean, look at Christianity, right?
It's just the ones that are most vocal.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can't look at Joel Osteen and Harold Camping, and yes, I did just put those two in the same category.
I think
you
they
can't,
kind of belong
you can't,
together.
yeah, like, you can't look at those two guys and go, oh, that's, I mean, people do, well, that's Christianity, but same kind of thing. There's a couple of idiots in every group, and it makes everyone look. Anyways, they wouldn't dare that, but like, what is up with evangelical churches being so, yeah, sure, we'll just do whatever society wants. Oh, like, how many denominations is it now that have gone, oh, okay, let's accept homosexual marriage because that's what's PC, or, oh, yeah, this thing, or, oh, this thing. And I mean, like, the church started, like, the church spread because of persecution of death, right? Like, it was all in Jerusalem. They started being persecuted. No one but the actual apostles stuck around to actually be tortured and killed. Everyone else spread.
Which they did. They were tortured and killed.
Oh yeah,
in very
and
gruesome,
some,
awful ways.
skinned and hung upside down, or not hung, but crucified upside down. All kinds of great stuff. But the rest of them spread, and that's how the church grew. A lot of it, like just regular board members were like, well, I say board members, but deacons. We've replaced the godly institution of deacons with worldly business. Like, man, I'm just saying all kinds of stuff I shouldn't be saying tonight.
You definitely tell us the first episode we've had in a while.
Yeah, and man, I just that long drive or something. I must have been listening too much Driscoll, because I'm just like, I'm just gonna say what's in my mind. Anyways, goes up, and starts healing, start churches, just all kinds of stuff. But like, that was obviously very controversial. It is illegal under penalty of death to be a Christian. All right, cool.
Sign up.
Let's do it anyways, and now it's like, oh, well, the school, we don't want you to do this thing. And so they're like, oh, well, we're sorry. Yeah, still come in and use all our facilities, but we won't impose on you. You can impose on us. Like, I'm sorry, but again, it's late, and this whole video is gonna get me in trouble. But that exact same standard in a sexual relationship is called rape. But yet we're like, okay, let's get raped by everyone else because we don't want to sit. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, I'm using extreme language because I have extreme emotions. It's annoying. But all that to say,
oh, Brandy's gonna watch
this.
this.
Yeah,
I can already see her.
She doesn't watch these very.
She doesn't?
Not well. Sometimes she's gonna watch this one because I'm gonna tell her what I said. You just said that? Oh my goodness.
It's called rape.
But you understand what I'm saying? Like,
wow.
It's annoying. And now I will say that the pastor in town, the situation I was talking about, he's my hero right now because he's like, he's being firm. He's not being a jerk, and he's not like. But he's being firm.
Holding his ground.
He's holding his ground. He's being firm, and he has like backup plans. He's basically like, I was like, so what's, what if they? He's like, okay, this is what was said. Here's how I think they're gonna come around and stop us, and they'll be able to if they do it this way. Like, well, then what do you do? He's like, well, then like we just do this as long as we can. And if they actually can stop us, we're fighting now. But if they can stop us, we'll just do something else. Basically have the attitude of, God gave us this idea, we'll do it until we can no longer literally do it under good conscience, and then we'll pray and we'll get a new idea, and we'll do that idea, And I'm like, dude, you're my hero right now. Like, you're an evangelical pastor who's saying, I'm not going to just like, I won't use my analogies anymore, but I'm going to like fight back. And again, he's not being stupid, he's not like throwing rocks at the school, he's not like saying, whatever. He's just being firm and saying, no, this is the direction we're going. This is what God's in our heart. And until you can legally stop us, and it would be unethical for us to do. But then we're going to do something else. So, like, we're not leaving. If you're going to fight us, we're always going to be a thorn in your side, because we are going, his basic mentality is, we are going to reach our community. We do not care. We're going to reach it. And the high school is part of our community. They recently just started a youth ministry. Their youth pastor came in, and in like a month went from 0 to 20. So it's like, they're getting it done, man. Like, they're like, and it definitely brings my respect for that denomination up more. Not to say I didn't like the denomination, it's just I didn't have a lot of experience with it. And now I'm like, you guys are awesome.